Good morning. It is the Big Joe and Laura show here on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. Welcoming you to Wednesday, March 6, 2024. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. I put something off yesterday I was supposed to do that I was probably supposed to do the day before. I've known about something for like 3 or 4 days, and I keep on kicking the can down the road, and now today's the final day to do it.
Well, that's not really a great life choice. What are you kicking down the road?
My wife, Lindsay, has to borrow my car because she's going to be taking some coworkers and I believe one of her trainees or somebody that works with her, like learning the job, and they're going to go do a store visit, I believe, in Lansing tomorrow from Grand Rapids. They got to drive out there, and they're taking our car.
Wait, why are they taking your car instead of hers?
Well,
you have like the bigger car?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
mine's like an SUV, hers like a smaller little vehicle. So
Okay, that makes sense.
That just for actual space wise, and you don't want to make like your underling or your intern or somebody that is learning.
3 deep in the backseat of a regular car. Yeah, no, it's not nice.
So, and she's like, "Hey, hon, my car's not disgusting, but it's messy right now."
Sure.
She's like, "Can you clean it up?" And I was looking at it this morning when I was like getting ready to come to work. I'm like, "This is a project."
Okay, so maybe this is an unpopular opinion. You're probably going to like it. I don't know if anyone else is going to agree with me on this. If she wants to borrow your car, shouldn't she clean it up a little bit?
No, I would say normally I would agree with that.
Or is it like totally all your filth?
Oh, no, it's my car. So, yeah, everything that's in there is a majority of my stuff. Only thing that's her filth, and it's actually Benny and Patty's, too. They need to step up and help out. There is a, you know how, like, if you're an alcoholic, you probably got beer cans in the back seat?
Yeah.
Our dogs are pupaholics. They have
Pup
way too many
cups.
pup cups in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we got pulled over, an officer like, oh, somebody had a pup cup, did they?
Somebody's a little drunk on ice cream this afternoon.
How many pup cups did your dogs have?
2. Oh, they only say it's only 2.
Then he puts his paw up. 5 or 4 in this little claw thing. Does it count as the thumb?
I guess the reason I asked is because my husband is absolutely the ruiner of my car. Like, I tend to keep it somewhat clean, but he leaves every single thing he has ever touched in his life in the passenger seat of my car. So if you get in my car and you see the passenger side trash because there's 6 thermoses, a cup, 4 Red Bull cans. It's always my husband being the passenger princess that he is, completely just ruining everything. So that's why I was like, shouldn't she clean up after her mess? But I'm realizing now that my situation is not cool.
No. For the most part, Lindsay is clutter and chaos, but it's not mess. I guess it's things that she needs, kind of.
But she's not leaving trash behind.
No, she's not leaving like a Taco Bell bag behind, like is currently in my car on my front seat.
Okay, so that was your fault.
Yeah. So
okay, fair. You need to clean it then.
I'll be doing that so she can look presentable in front of her coworkers.
There you go. Make sure you get one of those little black ice air fresheners so everybody thinks you're super cool.
In high school, the lady said I was cool when I had that.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
You might remember back in 2011, the tragic passing of Wes Leonard. Just a few minutes after he sunk a game-winning shot, people are rushing the court, cheering him on. He collapsed on that same court and died. Now lawmakers in Michigan are doing something about it. They've introduced new legislation that will require AEDs to be available in all Michigan schools, as well as schools to create a program where they can learn how to respond to that and know what they're doing and offer training.
I think it's really important. I mean, you and I did CPR training back in the fall, right before I had Justin, and you think you can't do that or you think it's too hard, and it is surprisingly easy to have the keys and the tools to be able to save someone's life, and I think everybody should just at least try to know how to do it. Today kicks off Laugh Fest, the weekend-long comedy event benefiting the Gilda's Club, who helps people who are going through cancer, and it's such a good cause to get some laughs out there. Comedians like Dimitri Martin, Piff the Magic Dragon, and more are going to be coming to Grand Rapids this weekend. Tonight actually kicks off the Trivia with the Stars event at 6 o'clock. And Big Joe, you're going to be there doing some trivia.
Yeah, I wish I could bring my wife Lindsay because she was like the nerd that was on Jeopardy. I don't know if I got invited because they thought she'd come, but we'll see how it goes.
I was going to say, you're going to need her help. She's the smart one, and I'm not going to be able to be there to use my Laura Can't Lose skills. So you got to make us look good.
I'll try. And this is one of my nightmares. An Arizona woman found an unwanted surprise in the back seat of her car.
He turned around and he had seen a tongue kind of like flipping at him. He's like, get out of the car. And so I freeze up because I'm like, when I get scared, I freeze. In a state where there's lots of critters and lots of things that can get into small spaces, personal spaces, to know what to do in that situation and who to call. We got real comfortable in that car. That snake made its home in there.
I'm a snake. I'm a slither little snake a snack.
No, that is my nightmare. Like, I found a spider in my car and thought I was going to wreck it because of that.
Like while you were driving?
Yes. So I can't even imagine finding a snake. I absolutely would just drive my car into the nearest river in hopes that saved my life.
I hate to predict it because I don't want it to come true, but I've always envisioned one day dying while Lindsay's driving in the car, mainly summertime, and a bee flies into it, and she freaks out, and we roll over and catch on fire.
But listen, maybe now it could be a snake. You've got all these opportunities.
Oh, wow. Options. Cool. That's your Need to Know News on Mix 95.7. I'm curious to know if you would have said something or just been quiet and drank it. Hey, it's Big Joe and Laura on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. You can be part of this conversation, too, after you hear the story. 616-600-0957. So last week, I went with my wife, Lindsay, and my brother-in-law, Travis, to go see your grandpa, who's he's kind of sick. His health is not doing well. And after that visit, we drove Lindsay's grandma back to her place where she's staying, and she offered us, hey, come on inside, hang out for a bit. So I was like, okay, I love Lindsay's grandma. Plus, old people usually always have great snacks and desserts and treats.
I was going to say, I will hang out with anyone's grandma if they invite me inside because everybody needs an extra grandma regardless.
Oh, for sure. So, like any good host, she offered us something to drink.
Okay.
She asked, hey, would you guys like some root beer? I'm like, oh, do I love root beer? Yes.
Is it mug? I'm in.
So she goes to the fridge and comes back with 3 different things in her hand, and one of those was a tiny can of root beer, like the little 8-ounce one, so it's a perfect serving size.
Okay.
And then she had 2 bigger bottles that were glass, and they were not root beer. Any guess what else might have been in the fridge?
Okay, so you're saying that she was going to bring you root beer, and she brought you 2 glass bottles. I'm going to assume it's something that looks like root beer. That would be the smart move. So, like, maybe one of those not your father's alcoholic root beers?
That would have made sense, but no, she actually brought me a mixed berry Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Oh, root beer, mixed berry, hard lemonade. They look and seem very similar.
Here's the thing. Lindsay's grandma does not drink alcohol.
So wait, why'd she have them? Does she not know they're alcoholic?
I think her husband or Lindsay's grandpa enjoys them a bit, but I don't.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm just surprised that usually you don't find alcohol in their place. So I got handed a little root beer in my big hand, this little 8-ounce can, and then Lindsay and my brother-in-law Travis, she hands them clink, 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 these little Mike Hard Lemonades mixed berries, and it's just look at each other, and I sip my root beer. I'm like, this is good. But I look at Lindsay, I look at Travis, and then we just all make eye contact. We're like, do we say something?
Okay, so
do we say something?
Do you think that she purposely snubbed you on the alcoholic beverages?
No,
because because you noticed she gave the 2 siblings who she's related to the alcoholic beverage, but then she was like, Joe, I know how you handle your booze. Here's the root beer instead.
No. Grandma Gelder has no clue about how I handle my booze, and that's a good reason because she still loved me. But that being said, I think it's just because I was the first one closest to her, then Travis and Lindsay were right next to.
So you just got the first of that type of drink, and then they got everything that was remaining.
Yeah, so it was just an awkward situation, and I'm curious to know if you would have taken that drink if it was given to you and just drank it, or would you say something? Because the reason I wouldn't say something and we didn't say anything, none of us did, we just drank our drinks, is we didn't want to embarrass her. I don't know if she would have been, but I assume she'd be like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. And I feel like it's a situation where you just have to down it, right? Like you don't say, hey, you don't point it out.
I would have totally said something, but
what would you have said to a grandma?
I wouldn't have pointed out that it was an alcoholic beverage. That's where you would have messed up. I would have been like, hey, oh, these lemonades, these are really good. Have you had these before? And just try to see if she acknowledges what she's given you. And if she does, then you know she was in and she was like, y'all need to take the edge off. Here's a hard lemonade. But if she's just like, oh, I just found him in the fridge. We only had 1 root beer. Then you know there's probably something going on there that was maybe accidental.
See, I guess I know Lindsay's grandma a little bit closer than obviously you do.
Sure.
She might say y'all need Jesus. She's not going to say, y'all need an alcoholic drink. No. We're not having the devil's juice.
Oh, wild. I mean, I guess if she hands it to you, you have to drink it regardless, though. That's the rules. If grandma gives you something and you don't finish it, you're a bad grandchild, whether or not you're actually their grandchild or not.
So I have a kind of a 2-part question. You answered one of the first ones, Laura, but I'm curious if you're listening. 616-600-0957. That gets handed to you. Do you just drink it?
Yep.
Or do you say something? And the second part is, I got to assume that you've had, older people in your life that you love probably not realize what they have or what they're giving you. And
Yeah.
you might have a similar incident like that. I'd like to hear about that situation and what happened. 616-600-0957. It's the Big Joe and Laura Show.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
The Grand Rapids Parks and Recreation Department wants a new name for their turf painting robot. He currently goes by Turfy McTankface, and you can actually help change that.
Why would you want to? It's still a great name.
I guess he's been that way for like 3 years, and he's actually released a statement. If you don't mind, I'll read it to you.
Oh, really? The robot has a statement. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is on behalf of Mr. McTankface. He's simply ready to start a new chapter. He said, quote, "The blank McBlankface trend has come to an end and it's run its course. And quite frankly, it's a little lazy. Grand Rapids, we can do better." So,
Wow. I mean, you know what? The take's right.
if you go to Grand Rapids Parks and Recreation website, you can actually submit a new name. I am just put on the spot, so I really don't know. What would you call him? Do you have an idea?
Captain Paints a Lot.
I will take that.
It's better than Turfy McTankface, that's for sure. Taylor Swift. Did you know that she makes her own Pop-Tarts?
Yeah, I thought there was a story about that. She made them for like the linemen or something of the Chiefs.
Yeah, apparently this all came out after Kansas City Chiefs coach Andy Reid said in a recent episode of a podcast that, yeah, she brings them to the games and she surprised some of the players by making her version of them, and apparently they're amazing. Like, everyone on the Chiefs raves about how good her Pop-Tarts are. So naturally, Michigan's own Kellogg's has actually said, "Hey, Taylor, can we have that recipe?"
Great, now Pop-Tarts are going to be $45 a box.
Assuming you can find one, but hey, at least they'll be Pop-Tarts Taylor's version. Honestly, I would fall for this gimmick. I have to know. What flavor do you think she's making?
That's kind of obvious. It's either going to be strawberry or cherry, something red.
I was going to go with maybe the s'mores because that feels very Reputation era, and she's kind of about to release a Reputation era thing. So
Oh, you call yourself a Swiftie? It's got to be red. DM us in the Mix 95.7 app and let us know what flavor or color you think it will be. And your final need to know news story happened on Monday. A 3-year-old in Geneva Township knocked out the screen door and took off in just a diaper.
Oh no!
The parents called 911, and within an hour, thanks to drones in the air and the Van Buren County Sheriff's Canine Kuno, the missing boy was found safe.
5118, we got crying. Hey, buddy! Hey! Hey! Oh! I know. It's okay. It's okay.
Absolutely heartbreaking audio to hear as a mom. I can't imagine my little guy being out there lost like that and so scared. You could just hear the fear in his little voice, and I'm so thankful they found this little guy.
Way to go, everybody. That's your Need to Know News on Mix 95.7. We're Big Joe and Laura on Mix 95.7. Let's say good morning to Daphne in Zeeland playing Laura Can't Lose.
Good morning, Daphne. How you doing?
I'm feeling really good.
Good. I hope you are, because yesterday Mary did not win, so our jackpot for the Michigan Lottery tickets is up to $35 that you could be walking away with if you are able to beat me today.
All right, let's get this game going, Daphne. Tell Laura to get out.
Please leave.
All right. Going, gone.
Okay, you're going to get 1 minute to answer 5 questions. You can pass if you don't know the answer. We'll come back if time allows. A tie goes to Laura because Laura can't lose, but you can take her on again the next day. Question number 1. What state has the longest freshwater shoreline?
Michigan?
Question 2. What is the best-selling video game franchise of all time?
Oh, my goodness. Mario?
Question 3. What state is home to the Alamo?
Texas?
Question 4. Who is the villain in Peter Pan?
Captain Hook.
Question 5. What was Taylor Swift's first song to chart on the Billboard Hot 100? Hint, it's named after a country singer.
Tim McGraw.
Okay, I'm going to bring Laura back in.
Laura! La, 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 Laura!
Daphne is competing today for $35 worth of those Michigan Lottery tickets. And Laura, if you want to stop her from doing that, you're going to have to get all 5 right.
Oh, so she did really well. Is that just timing, or does that get me a
I'm
win?
shocked.
No.
I'm so shocked.
5 is a tie, so that's the best you can do.
Okay, let's see how it goes. Daphne might be walking away with $35 worth of Michigan lottery tickets.
Question number 1. What state has the longest freshwater shoreline?
I want to say that would be Michigan.
Correct.
Woohoo! Okay, good. Ooh,
Question.
lost that really, really fast.
Number 2. What is the best-selling video game franchise of all time?
I would say Super Mario, the Mario Brothers, however you want to say that. The
I'll
Mario
take it.
franchise.
I was looking for the Mario franchise.
Okay.
That'll work. Yep. 2-2. Going into question 3. What state is home to the Alamo?
Oh, I've been there. Texas.
Correct. 3-3. Going into the 4th question. Who is the villain in Peter Pan?
Hook, 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 hook. I just remember the movie.
Yes, I will accept Hook or Captain Hook. 4-4. Going into this last question where you can tie Daphne. If you lose, she wins.
Oh, no, okay.
Question 5. What was Taylor Swift's first song to chart on the Billboard Hot 100? I'll give you a hint. It's named after a country singer.
Oh, if you hadn't given me that hint, I would have never guessed it. It has to be Tim McGraw, right?
That's correct, and that means we have a tie game. Daphne, if you want to come back and play again tomorrow, you have a chance to win $40 worth of Michigan lottery tickets.
I will do it.
When it comes to your fur baby, is there a limit to how much you would spend on them? Hey, we're Big Joe and Laura on Mix 95.7. Now, Laura, I know you got your dog Tulip and all your cats, and I want to hear from you and anybody else as well, if you're listening, 616-600-0957, about your largest vet bill, like the most you've spent on that animal.
Okay, I'll start off. I think, there's been more we've spent on Tulip, but I think the one that really set me off the deep end was about a year ago. There was one morning my husband texted me and was like, oh my gosh, Tulip is limping. She can't get up and down the stairs.
Oh,
She's not getting up
no.
well. Like, we're really worried. And she's what's called a bully toad, which is basically a pit bull bulldog mix.
She's like a lowrider.
She's a lowrider. She's a stumpy girl. You can tell she's going to have back problems as she gets older. And she's starting to get older. So we were like, oh no, the time is here. It is too soon. We're not ready for this. So James makes an appointment at the vet, drives her all the way out to Jenison where her old vet was, takes her in there. And then it turns out she didn't like one of her toenails because it was a little long. So $300 or almost $400 later,
Yeah.
Tulip the dog was entirely fine. She just needed a toenail trim.
Okay, see, it's not funny, but it's funny. Patty the other day came back from outside, and his left leg, the rear one, he would not put it on the ground. I'm like, what did you do? You just went potty. What happened? And I scheduled an appointment with the vet. Turns out he was fine. So I don't know if he stepped on something or what, but that was going to be a similar situation. Now, those are much cheaper than what we've spent on our dogs. Benny and Patty, we didn't know which one of them when we came home. We were looking for a house just like a year or two ago in Grand Rapids, and we came back from a showing, and we found a pound of Costa Rican dark chocolate, like pure chocolate. It was totally eaten, and wrappers were left, and that'll kill a dog.
Yeah.
We didn't know which one it was, so we had to take them to the emergency vet. They both had to puke, like they had to make them throw it up.
Oh, no.
Turns out it was just Benny. Poor Patty didn't do anything. But
Benny's always the problem, it seems like. Patty just kind of gets looped in by guilty by association.
I think that bill, though, was about $1,400.
Oh, my
And they told us it could
gosh.
be up to $4,000.
And
So
you lost all that chocolate, too.
I wish I had chocolate after that'll happen. And then my brother-in-law, Travis, that kind of spurred on this whole thing. He's been taking care of my mother-in-law's dog, Dawson. She passed away a year and a half ago, and he's been taking care of him in Chicago. And he's a good little dude, but he's older than, we don't even know how old he is. He was a rescue, was abused, and he's old, long in the tooth, and now he's having mouth issues where he's getting his teeth pulled out.
Oh, no.
And now they're trying to figure out, I think he spent like $800, which he's a young kid. He doesn't have that kind of money.
No, most people don't have $800 laying around for a dog bill.
No, but the bills just go up and up. So I was thinking about him, thinking about us, and I was wondering from you as well. 616-600-0957. What's the most expensive vet bill that you've had to pay? What was it for?
We want to hear from you. Again, 616-600-0957, or you can shoot us a DM right now in the Mix 95.7 app.
You love your fur baby, right? If you got a dog or a cat. Is there a limit to how much you would spend if they were going to be sick or needed surgery? We're the Big Joe and Laura Show here on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix.
We want to know, what was the cause of your most expensive vet bill? I told my story that my dog Tulip cost us almost $400 $1,500 because she didn't like how long her toenails were. We thought that her leg was failing or something terrible was happening.
Our dog Benny and Patty, they one of them broke into our chocolate stash from Costa Rica, which is pure chocolate, and they ate a pound of it, which could have killed them. And it cost about $1,500 to pump their guts out.
Only $1,500, and you lost all that really nice chocolate too. What a treat.
I know. What about you, though? What is the story with your vet bill? 616-600-0957.
Samantha in Grand Rapids, what was the most expensive vet bill you were faced with?
It was just under $5,000.
Oh, my
What
gosh.
happened?
My dog, back in September, was just not her usual self, and we took her in, found out that she had, it's called pyometra,
Okay, what is
which
that?
is like a life-threatening infection in the uterus.
Oh, no.
And yep, so the doctor said that if we didn't bring her in that day, like, she could have checked out.
Oh, so is she still with us?
Yes, she is.
Oh, thank God. At least it was worth the money, but geez.
Was there any
Yeah, it was a lot.
was there any second thought or debate in your household about whether or not you'd actually do this surgery and spend that money?
No, we had to. I've had this dog. I got her for my daughter, and it was my daughter's birthday that day.
Oh, no.
I was like, there's no way. I was like, we have to save her. Like, let's go right now.
Wow, Samantha, we're glad everybody's okay. Thanks for sharing.
But geez, thanks for
Yeah, no
sharing.
problem.
Have a great morning.
You too. Thank you.
Sam and Wayland, what was the most expensive vet bill you were faced with?
So our old neighbor brought over a giant remote control monster truck, and we have a Yorkie, and he was chasing our Yorkie around the yard, and he ran over our Yorkie. It ripped our Yorkie's bottom lip off. It broke both his knees. It was a huge ordeal.
Oh.
So we ended up taking him to the vet. It was a $750 bill, and my neighbor didn't offer to pay anything.
Oh, absolutely not. I would be letting your dog poop in his yard forever after that.
For real. My poor baby was in a cone for like 3 weeks. He was a
Oh,
hot
I'm glad your
mess.
dog was okay. And I mean, $750 is expensive, but I would have expected way more. So it feels like you almost lucked out with that one.
Yeah, for sure.
How much did you have to spend on your pet? Tell us about those big vet bills that you had. 616-600-0957. It's Big Joe and Laura here on Mix 95.7. Big Joe and Laura show on Mix 95.7. If you're just joining us, man, these vet bills are expensive. People in West Michigan, Laura, have been sharing how much they had to spend on their pet when they took him into the vet.
Yeah, we want to know what was the cause of your most expensive vet bill. You can give us a call at 616-600-0957. Maureen in Grand Rapids, what was your most expensive vet bill?
It was $3,200.
What happened?
I actually rescue animals. I rescued this cat that had been a victim of abuse, basically. She was mauled by other dogs. She was used as live bait in dog fighting.
Wow. What
She had to
sick
have
people.
her eye removed, and she had to have her eye removed, she had to have teeth removed, and she had to have an MRI as well.
Well,
Yeah.
bless you for taking care of all those animals. You are really an amazing person, because it's one thing to love a dog or a cat. It's another to actually take them in and house them and help them.
Especially when they've been in a situation like that. Maureen, you're a saint. Thank you for sharing this morning. We
thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Stephanie from Byron Center, what was your most expensive vet bill and what caused it?
Well, she was 18 months old when she ruptured her ACL.
Oh,
your
that
dog-
was
She was so
always
young,
expensive.
we had to get it fixed, and that was $5,000.
Jeez, is she
so
like
did-
an athlete dog? What's
Well-
going on?
3 months later, she ruptured the other ACL. That was another $5,000. And with all the physical therapy and the treatments that she needed, it was pushing $15,000.
Oh
Holy
my
cow.
gosh.
You know what's messed up about this? Sorry to make this about me, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
My wife, Lindsay, would spend, just like you, Stephanie, $15,000 on Benny or Patty. That's our dogs.
Yeah.
Now, if something happened to me and I messed up my ACL, she'd be like, we're going to have to put him down.
Well, her name is Taz. She deserves that name. She earned that name, and she's still with us. She's 6.5 now.
Oh, well, I'm glad she was worth the investment, even if it was a pain in the wallet, for lack of better words.
So it was, oh yeah, very much so. But she was worth it.
Stephanie, have a great day.
Thanks, Stephanie.
You too. Thank you.
You can share your most expensive vet bill right now on our Mix 95.7 GR or Big Joe and Laura Facebook pages.